Cannon have to know this, that you want to shoot out that cannon as fast and as strong as possible, and we are looking at this guy to really light the way, as he has been so fun to watch.
Yodak is the new kid on the block for a cannon, and it feels like they've done the right thing, I think, picking him up, right? You have to make a replacement for Crusade. He cannot be here, so, well, you got to get somebody who's on Crusade's level. I think they might have found somebody that's even past Crusade's level. This is like one of those situations.
Is
that good?
Major 3 was it, where Toronto Ultra had Mercules, and Beans is sitting on the sidelines like, oh, whoa, wait a second.
Who stole my job? Like, Beans was like, oh, someone stole my job over here. Yeah, Yodak might well be Cannon's very own Mercules at this point in time. It's a phenomenal start to them as well. They managed to get 23 points off the first. Yodak is covering towards Electrical. So, as far as Offutt's transition in towards the rotation is concerned, they have been completely blocked out. And Cannon, well, they're on the right side of the map for that. PT rotate.
He's absolutely spinning around. Big win for Flux, but still lots of work to be done, as Cannon shared a lot of time off that P1. And they have the better spawns for P2. So everybody's going to be grouping together for this break in through the front line. Nobody on the flank just yet. That's a chunky nade, and Hate in the back line going to continue to lay down the hurt.
Cannon just dominating right now. Offutt, you have to get this team, this hill as a team, excuse me. Fluck goes in towards Elephant, and we'll take Yodak out of the play. Flanking play from Splurging now could potentially, at the very least, damage the hardpoint control here. And there we go, finally. Takes Hay out of the play. Spots on towards the second player. Slide out, not good enough for the kill. Through the front, they momentarily garner control of the hardpoint, but Yodak almost immediately pulls that away. Yodak is going for a very long flank here for all of 15 seconds. When the rotation is imperative, I don't know if that's the right play, but ultimately, Cannon do get a better look at the hard point.
Cannon are looking really good so far. A little bit of scrap time for Offutt, but you have to look towards the rotation, as of course we can't really gauge the rotation without that mini-map, but you can see some of these X-rays are already going to be soaking up that time. Appa playing towards those new spawns. Offutt setting themselves up for a solid chance at this P3.
And Offutt have those back spawns. Flux on 4 in a row, going in towards this hard point. Here comes the slide out. Splurging will find Artie. Should be good for the contest now. Splurging's able to double up, and Flux over the top will find his 5th. So that is Offutt. Now in towards these times, and they've got those back spawns as well. But Cannon wasting no time to fly back right towards the hard point. In they go. Artie and Argo double up. Trades from Wazd and Flux. And, well, it is one player who survives. It's Cannon, who do have hill control.
Yeah, Cannon going to be getting the back end of this time. They also flip those spawns for new. So a transition from P3 to P4 could necessarily put an early nail in the coffin, one of many that is going to need to close out this map. But you can see over towards that new hill, Arrow Appa, a couple of kills, looking to dig his team away from this. But now that the wave has returned, Cannon just sweep it away.
All right, this is a pivotal moment here in this game. Cannon managed to break a hill that really should not have been theirs. Now all they got to do is watch the cross as Offutt try to break back through to a hard point they felt should have been rightly theirs, but Flux will the only one find some value here. Appa trying to get in towards the back line. That stun will connect, not just onto Yodak, I think actually connects onto Argo, but Argo finds the kill anyway. And now you've got Artie inside the hard point, starting a streak out as well. He's got the Hellstorm missile in the back pocket, and you hit the 20-second mark, Seymour. I mean, look, Argo's down. There's a contest inside the hard point. TK comes through from Splurging. It's like, how much do you want to invest in this? You've got to be careful that you don't end up inadvertently losing control of Rota.
And it's not even that. Like, you're getting the contest in, you're getting some chances, but you're never truly breaking. So look at the time that Cannon is getting off of this every single time. It's already winning those big, crucial one-on-ones to now have a 1 minute and 46 seconds of objective time heading into this P5. Offutt are here first, but you need waves and waves of kills just to get a solid time out of this P5.
Offutt have to hold, and they've already immediately got broken. RT now on 7 in a row. Over the top, it's a bodacious gunfight. He's going to have to throw that trophy down, and in doing so, the animation will stop him from taking Splurgy out of the play. Splurging for the jump shot, but surely weak for the trade here. Yodak or Argo should be able to take him down. Never mind. He hits the reset. So is ready. Has help, I imagine, from behind as well. Stunned up. Artie finds both of those players. And towards the hard point now, it's a white feed. Only Flux finds some value. Was goes in. On the other side, Arpa potentially to try and stop this one. Artie trying to get some value, and he won't be able to. So that could be scrap time, and it really should be ideally. Hate is there to make sure that doesn't happen, but ultimately, I think the headline here in Neon Flashing Lights is the same, regardless of what happens for the last few seconds. Offutt, they are really struggling.
Yeah, they are. They need to start turning some of these kills into objective time and point holds. Argo, an interruption, but splurging together. It's with Arrow Appa, 6 kills in a row to start this new rotation off with some initial hill time. And you see it through the walls. A couple players from Cannon looking to overextend and flip this map out. Splurging's going to react to it, but can he stay alive? Big fight out, challenges it, and that's a crucial win versus Argo.
That's 8 in a row now. Splurging taking a row. I was going to say 8 in a row between Splurging and Arpa, but Splurging goes down. There goes Arpa as well. And all of a sudden, what like a positive moment here for Offutt might well change into a negative one. Big 1 versus 1 for the Roto. Lodak didn't check the corner. Trade should be solid from Argo, and it will be. And now you're going to see Cannon really start to focus in for those back spawns. Argo just trying to make sure nobody gets near. TK from Yodak will hurt things here for Cannon. You look through the X-ray, you can see 3 players starting to approach Argo.
Yeah, this is going to be a moment where you have to fight this one fast and win all your battles. Into the hill you go. 4 new. Artie's going to call the Hellstorm, takes Hate down, but Yodak in a position to block those spawns, and he doesn't do it fully. You see the spawn up towards Garbage is going to be there for Offutt. They turn around, they take down Yodak, and that should be able to turn their attention to the front line.
Yeah, they'll be watching the cross there to make sure Yodak can't flip those spawns out, as you said. That's now back spawns locked here for Offutt. Cannon starting to lose their grip on this game. Offutt watching every single point of ingress in towards this hard point was now just pre-firing in towards blue. Argo. Again, there's a lot of team kills for Cannon, I'll say that much. Cannon feel like they're kind of throwing themselves at the hard point and trying to brute force their way through with kills. That's something we said that we were concerned about. And we talk about Offutt getting back into this game. They were wholly out of the game at the end of the first set, but now they're only, and I'll say only with a bit of an asterisk, only 50 points behind. This has been a solid couple of hills for Offutt.
Yeah, only one good hill, I'd say, away from bringing this one fully back. So that is great damage control coming out from Offutt in that play. You get the break in the back, you shut down Yodak from flipping those spawns. The issue is now you have to look towards this P3, P4 rotation. You cannot let Cannon do what they did last time, and Cannon are really ahead of the fact that they do not want to lose these back spawns.
Artie gonna challenge for them. Splurging knows how important getting this kill is, and Woz does also. W team shots coming out from Offutt there as they make sure that those spawns are locked in towards the time. Potentially trying to hold on. White kill feed here for the moment. Yodak going to try and hunker down. If they can get this back 30 seconds, it would be huge. You do ideally need to get towards the hard point if you're Offutt, and I just don't know if they're going to be able to here. At the same time, it's that gamble, right? Do you invest into that time? Do you focus on the Roto? Well, Yodak looking to try and exploit that.
I don't know if they've got the information on this. Yodak has a chance, and they do. So Yodak goes down. And yeah, I was saying you need to contest that old hill, but instead doing so, you've allowed a wave to rotate for Cannon. So a couple crucial gunfights happening over towards that new hill. Argo trying to track down this last player in the back line, but at 216, you've really set yourself up for the win condition for Cannon. You hold this hill, you win the map.
And that was the gamble that I was talking about. How much to invest into scrap time. It's time you didn't want to give away. And now you don't have the rotation. Hate will unfortunately have to go to the pistol for the kill. So get shut down. But one last push out from Offutt here to try and break through.
Only 13 seconds. Another wave of kills. I don't really see this being possible. It is just wave after wave of Cannon success. Through the kill feed, through the time, nobody in a position to really touch this hard point, and it is smooth sailing once again for Cannon on the rewind hard point. A little bit of an upgrade from yesterday. It's a 4-point difference as they hold Offutt to 151.
It's just more or less the same thing. Again, neither you nor I got to see the game yesterday, so we can't talk about how it broke down, but I got to imagine it was something similar. Shout out to Offutt, I will say, right, for making it a competitive game in the second set. It just took way too long to get to that point, and really, even then, it was only 2 hard points at which we actually saw Offutt actually do anything of note. Cannon, on the other hand, just blowing them out of the water. And I got to give a lot of love to RT. Not only goes 25 and 17, not only has 23 NTKs, but finishes with well over 2 minutes inside the hard point. But he's not just, going out and getting random kills across the map. Oh. Every single kill that he's making is a massive part of the game.
Yeah, I mean, what are we talking about? After that 4th rotation in the first set of hills. He had a minute 46 of hill time. That is ridiculous stats from Artie. Not to mention that 7 spree he goes on. He gets the Hellstorm that ultimately leads to the break momentarily in that P2 hold. That Offutt we're looking at in the second set of hills. So Artie was going big in those moments, making so many impactful kills, bringing so much momentum to the pace that cannon we're looking to set. But the real issue was those P3, P4 rotations for Offutt. I mean, you found yourself in great positions both times to have those back spawns, but both times you overstepped your boundaries. You're not locking down those lanes. You're trying to contest for that hill time. Yeah, but you're doing it without taking the precautionary steps to allow you to do that justice. And you look into those situations both times. If you win those P4 rotations, you have a chance to tie that game. And we're probably looking at a different stat line in general for that scoreboard. But because you give it up, Cannon flip things out. And when you put Cannon into a situation where they can have those power positions in those long lines of sight, you saw how that scoreboard, how that kill feed was going. It was pretty much unbreakable.
Yeah, I mean, like, here's the thing. They understood the importance of getting the rotation. You know, we know that as well, right? Because I think even before we got into the P3 on that final set, they made sure that the one player that had gone through to try and manipulate those spawns, they sent 2 players to deal with that one guy, right? And that just goes to show they knew what they were doing. It was just kind of unfortunate, I think, in the heat in the moment. Again, I mean, you calmed that they need to try and get some kind of pressure on towards the hard point because you can't really give the back 30 away in the position that they were. But again, that's the gamble that they made, and unfortunately, they lost that gamble.
I think this even kind of circles back to that whole conversation that we saw in that red card versus Eglin earlier today. You get outslayed yet again. This time, that slaying happens in more impactful positions, and the scoreline really represents what Eglin could have done if that macro was just a little bit better. Cannon put it on full display. They shoot a little bit straighter, and they have the positioning to back it up. So it's a really tough situation to find yourself in.
Well, it's worth saying they weren't perfect through that game. I think there might have been like 4 or 5 TKs from Cannon. So they're taking each other out. All you got to do is work with the back of those TKs and you'll be perfectly fine. We saw enough of them in game number 1, but not enough, evidently, to actually change the destiny, the fate of yourselves in that, because it is going to be a Cannon victory in the first map of this series. We talked about it being a big one. Let's show you guys how it looks then for the rest of this series, because Rewind Hardpoint, the rematch went more or less exactly the same way. Cannon come out on top. Hacienda Search and Destroy. This is where Offutt need to change their fate. It is a different map than what was played in the last best of 5, so maybe that's going to help them.
But this is the map that we saw them play versus Eglin in the series just prior to this one. It went all the way to around 11. You nearly fumble the bag with that team kill on the bomb planter, but you still clutch up to win things out. It was really open to the mistakes to allow Eglin to have some chances, but I think the one big thing for Offutt, and we heard it in the interview after, is that they were looking to make some changes from day 2 to day 3, and they watched the VOD. They looked a lot more open to adapting their plays throughout their search and destroy, and it did show at times with the fact that when you were watching the minimap, when you were watching their plays, Brody, it didn't look like they were doing the same thing twice in every single round. So the fact that they have strats now, they have a deeper book to look into, I think Offutt should have some more chances to throw some wrenches at this Cannon team.
And that is a good way to take down a team that is just basically brute forcing their way for every single series that they're playing, right? I mean, like, you're just throwing some variety their way, try to maybe strategize around a team that just frankly can outslay you pretty much all of the time, is ultimately the way you need to play Search and Destroy against a roster like this. And it's important to try and win a game like Search and Destroy. It's the most strategic of the 3 that we have in Call of Duty. You know, it's the one that has the deepest strategies. So I think for Offutt, that's how you get into this series. But again, I have to say, if you lose this Search and Destroy, and I think crucially, if you lose it pretty convincingly, you're going to be in trouble, because Cannon are not the kind of roster to take a control lightly. And I'll be honest, I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I can't see Cannon losing the control full stop. So for me, Offutt, they have to win this Search and Destroy. I have to see some creativity off the bat. And you said it, looks like they've been working on that. Yeah. But is that actually going to play out when push comes to shove in this game?
That's the big question for Offutt. We have to see them adjust. Starting on the offensive side, it looks like it's going to be a hit over towards A. We don't have the minimap, Brody, so it is going to be the X-rays that we have to look towards. Flux, first blood, traded immediately. Bomb going down, but look how fast Cannon are adapting.
You're unlucky there. Get shut down. Now it's just Anna Was. This is a bit of a peculiar position from Was. I will say that much. They might not necessarily expect this. If he's going to hurry up, he might be able to stop this defuse. Needs to do it real quick here. They're double stacked up as well. The shot's in. He stops the defuse again. Why would you ever expect that push coming from Well? They were looking towards top secret. That's the right call in the moment. But Was just going to outplay them with the unusual strategy.
Every day and yesterday, you retake that site, and it's going to be through dark. This time, I mean, you recognize where that bomb was planted for. It wasn't planted for the window. Wast knew that. He had the opportunity to make the route, and he chose the right one to go to. What a play from Waz, an important one as well to clutch up a major 1v2. That was something that we didn't really see versus that Eggland game, because Offutt, every single time they won, it was pretty handedly. The clutches, that was Eggland's side. So the fact that Offutt come out, win a big one there, that's huge for Waz.
Artie. Full sending it down the middle of the map. Oh my god, no way. No way. I know that the Jackal can do ridiculous things, and well, that would look like it was going to be an even more ridiculous thing than we normally expect from that thing for an Artie's hand. So, doesn't matter. They get the kills. Cannon now looking to accentuate their advantage by getting the rock down over it by A. And that's going to send Offutt here flying across the map to try and get to the site.
2v3, bomb down, post plant for Cannon. Can you clutch up yet again? Splurging, looking to represent those Gooners. So let's see if he can get it done here. Can you read Artie, though? That's the big question. Drop on down. He takes the shot. First one's going to be good. You know Splurging is there. Everybody collapses. And that is going to be a simple round to put away for Cannon.
Okay. Rewind time. You're talking about Arsenal, right?
Huh?
You're talking about Arsenal, right?
What do you mean?
You said Gunas.
Did you not watch the interview that we saw from Splurging?
I'll be honest, mate. I was running back to my PC. I'm just gonna leave that be for a second. We'll refer back to that in just a second.
This guy doesn't watch the interviews.
Well, listen, buddy. I have a big television downstairs that I'm watching the games on. If you want me to be ready to get back to my cast, I gotta turn that TV off and go run back to my PC. You gotta miss something sometimes. Anyway, I created my own personal green room downstairs. It's great. It's just the office gets hot sometimes. You got to be outside. Anyway, regardless. It's great. Anyway, Cannon on the defense here. Have to stop this attack on towards B. Wast goes down, and now this doesn't look so hot here. Spurgeon might well trade things back, but the problem is you've got one player on the flank coming through the middle of the map.
First blood. Followed up by a second one, too, for Offutt to keep those numbers to Cannon. And they're going to fully disengage from this one. Artie's getting so much information, pushing them back, and look at Yodak. He is already rotating for the flank.
Yodak. Oh, it does get lucky with it. That's unfortunate. Isn't going to expect the second player, so the comm's never made to Artie, but you've got Hate watching that cross, and he will have just had the info that Splurgeon ran right by. So they should be able to adapt here as to where Splurging goes. And it's going to be the wraparound through Office. Hate gives himself away, but again, it's not Hate that has to make the move here. It is Splurging with the bomb. He's going to run right into the middle of the map, and you've got Yodak there to watch it. So Cannon able to trade rounds here.
It can get it done for back-to-back. After a clutch doesn't go their way, this could have easily been a 3-0 if not for Waz. So you look to the rest of the team for Offutt to start to figure out how to get those first bloods, play your life, and anticipate the pacing that Cannon is throwing at you. That's something that is going to be important versus this team, because I think for Offutt, you expect your opponent to be making those mistakes. Cannon will not. So throughout these next couple rounds, you really have to be on your ball for trying to hold your life and draw that first blood out, and you definitely need Flux and Arrow Appa to start to step up.
And we talk about the importance of this search and destroy over and over again. You have to have this if you're Offutt. And they don't really do that much in way of stopping the bomb from going down here. I'm kind of surprised. They're a little bit late on the reaction. I think the play might be to try and send players back on the flank here through the middle of the map. The problem is they don't expect Argo. Argo gets out of position, but his job is done. He scared these Offutt players off.
Yeah, I mean, you get that first blood loss again, And now you look towards Offutt to start to make this play, laying down prone. Shots out, he gives himself out. Flux is going to bring this into a 3 versus 3. Now a 3 versus 2. Hops the defuse immediately into the rest of the team turn up to assist him. No, they don't. Artie just rips his way back through.
I mean, the defense line was there, right? I mean, it's a good comm from Flux to jump on the bomb, and you even had a teammate watching over you. The problem is Artie. Artie is the problem. Appa is there. He is watching his teammate. It just does not matter, though, when Artie is shredding the way he is. After that round, 7-2 performance for him. A beautiful play, and it's those kind of plays that can totally destroy your mental, because it really feels like, hey, we've got a play, we might finally get another round on the board, we might just tie us up at 2 for 2, and then Artie just blows the whole thing up. So, just unfortunate. It happens sometimes. Offutt, again, now on offense. Let's see if they do something different.
And it's still donut for Aeroop. You saw Flux had a big round there. Could have used that extra firepower, and Flux is looking to make a play yet again, right through middle. First blood for Hate, traded. And now Flux is looking to go rogue. Aeroop is going to find his first kill of the map. And on the other side, you can see flank on flank. 2 versus 2. Artie strikes for his 5th in a row. Now you look at Offutt to dig deep to put this one away. Both of your best players are alive.
And they're just unsure what to do. Shots out. That's going to give the information here to Flux that he should be able to get one player. Argo also on the hunt for another one. And yep, there goes Flux. You know where the last player is. This should be an easy peasy lemon squeezy round. Was softened up. And you got to imagine Artie is ready for it. Did he not see him? Artie has no idea. No. They've just passed yourself like 2 ships in a night.
Oh my god. He's just going to keep running. Argo, taste of your own medicine. The hunter becomes the hunted. And I love this call, but 30 seconds left. At some point, Was is going to have to make the play. And Artie, he knows the bomb is down.
Yeah, Artie doesn't need to make the first move here. Did Was hear him? Did he hear him? Okay, never mind. Doesn't matter. Even if he's not got the time, he's going to have to choose a bomb site. And Artie has also chosen the same one. This should be an easy kill. Artie, no! Oh, no!
Cover your eyes, folks. The spaghetti's all over the floor. That is disgusting.
Oh, Artie. I think you got to go on the naughty step after that one, mate. That's awful. How does that even happen? Artie's probably laughing about it, but... man, that is wild. I just didn't think the jump out of the window was even necessary, let alone the slide at the end to miss all the shots. Man, that is tough. Fair play to Was, though, for actually having the shots to win that gunfight. That's one that they will probably not be very happy with.
Oh, my God.
Our C-Cars come out here for Cannon off the rip to try and get some information. Well, if it's information they wanted, they've got it, but they don't have the man advantage. They tried to play a little bit of smoke and mirrors around the B-bomb site with those RC cars by sending players towards A, but they got found out.
I just had to go rinse my mouth to get the taste out of it. That was gross to watch, but it seems like Offutt are not really giving up on the opportunity that was given to them for that clutch that we just witnessed. 4 versus 2, now a 4 versus 1. So off of the back of that clutch, Offutt have reignited their passion for the search and destroy, and they've tied us up in the map. Whether or not Cannon are maybe just a little bit rattled or not, this is a big moment for Offutt.
Oh, extra bullets in the body as well from Flux. Yeah, Offutt are definitely right on the high of that 1 versus 1 for sure. And you know what? Fair play to Cannon, right? Look, they tried something. They had a strategy in that round. They used some of their utility in the RC cars to actually make some moves forward, but they just got found out. Offutt called their bluff, and it worked out perfectly. So, Cannon in towards this round now. Need a hearty response. Nade over the top should connect. Try and make one player weak. Yep, Flak Jacket will go for the save, but that's the information that Cannon needed off the rip here. They know this bomb is now moving towards A.
Aeroop has to play his life. Early reaction from Cannon is going to pick up the pace to see if you can get behind this play. Argo surrounded. Ooh. Lovely stuff out of Offutt. The teamwork, it's showing and reflects in the actions that we see even now. The call to rotate to B. This is so smart. Hate has no idea.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, why not? Why not do it at this point? You've even left one player to watch the cross as well. Splurgy might well have found perfectly. Oh, yeah, there it is. Perfect call from Splurgeon. I absolutely love that play call there from Offutt, right? You have a man advantage. And I think it's so easy in that situation to be like, look, we've already got site control. Let's just get the rock down. The problem is, of course, there's so many different points of entry in towards that A site that it's very easy with timing to just lose the bomb partner and the round to fall away from you. So, look, the B-bomb site, it's a lot more secure. Let's just rotate away while we know they can and just kind of immediately escape, leaving Splurging behind on the cross. It's a perfect play call from Offutt. And Cannon now, it's 3 rounds going against them in a row. They are really on the struggle bus now.
3 rounds to look forward to what Offutt can do with the rest of this game. Hacienda has been kind to them today. Can it be kinder? Splurging for the first blood. He gets away right into the shadows like he was never there. And what's the reaction? This is a bait play for that bomb to get planted towards A. All the attention is on P2, but it is a diversion.
All right, Cannon. Man disadvantage. Artie trying to play his life. He does barely get away. But he has been weakened. They know where to hit now. It's going to be all of this pressure through you. On the other side, Artie tries to escape, runs right into a couple of players, but the pressure still coming through Dark, by the way. And on the outside of the fences, Argo is here ready to meet that pressure. 1-for-1 trade. All comes down to Hate now, and you just got to stay up top in secret and play for time. Jumping on the defuse is a hell of a play call, and Hate will take that one for free.
It's not a good usage of the extra time that you did have. 17 seconds. You did not have to jump the gun, but I guess in a call that, you know, for Hate, maybe he gets that kill and full wraps through patio or tries to hit through spiral or maybe go back down through you. But in any veteran call, once you have that position towards the top of Dark, you do not have to leave it, especially when the bomb's planted for you. So that's perfect. I mean, the call for the diversion on the P2 push, I love it so much. You know the reactions have been very fast from both sides of the field. You take advantage of it, and that allows for the players who are sitting behind in P2 to then catch some timings on the transition in a little bit of a panic, and they do that perfectly.
Man. Wild search and destroy. Hate takes that all day long.
Splurgeon's got through. He might be looking for a flank fast.
Yeah. I'm just going to slow up here for a second. Here we go. Finey's going to go off. And I think that is just a kind of reaction to losing your players on the bomb site. He still is absolutely the key to this round. He's going to be able to take Hate for free. And there you go. But at the same time, Woz needs to be careful of the shark in the water that is Argo.
Bomb is down. That's a bigger problem. So for Cannon, you just shoulder to shoulder, play a corner, and eventually Offutt are going to walk into this trap that is being set. But we've seen a lot of clutches come out of Woz. Splurging 7 and 6. He is right there alongside him in terms of the slang. Fancy for the first bloods. Can he find more? And I guess now you know Artie's there. I don't know what that is, but he is making the play.
He's very dead. Oh, that's unfortunate for Argo. You now know where Artie is, so you can get the bomb down perfectly free here. You know that there's... Wait. Artie! Oh, the slide back! Artie dead to right, and it is just the fact that Artie takes those shots, right? If he doesn't take those shots, he doesn't alert Offutt as to where he is, and they're able to get him on the exit. Of course, it is also unfortunate that Argo gets the timing that he does, but good read on towards the player there from Splurgeon, just making sure that he was watching the only possible other place that the opponent could have come from. Excuse me. Just perfect play from Offutt. They are just 1 round away from tying up this series.
What have we learned, Brody? We've learned that when it comes to the clutch, Offutt are always there. Woz 11 and 4, Splurging 8 and 2. Both players on 2 in a row, but they want to put this one away in 10. They don't want this to go to 11. It's going to be a bang out at B.
Here we go. Oh, Offutt there to meet. Split. Oh, man, that's so unfortunate. You've just lost Argo in the play. Mate, look, the TK was going to happen at some point. The RC car from Woz makes it even worse. Hate clutched up a 1 versus 2 earlier. Now can he do a 1v3?
Yeah, it would be monumental. Surely this is not something that you let out of your grasp. And how do you read this corner? The fact is, you just don't. It's an impossible one to get through. Offutt 6-4 have handed a loss over towards this Cannon side in the Hacienda S&D, and they make this one interesting.
just that 3 rounds in a row. It really felt like Offutt caught some wind early on. I was really concerned, I'll be honest. When Cannon were 3-1 up, I was like, oh god, this is where they really start to catch fire in this game. But as soon as Offutt started bouncing back in that search and destroy, yeah, I mean, I guess, you know, if we're kind of talking about the whole series, they just need to steal one to force that game number 5, and maybe Offutt have a chance. I mean, to be fair, maybe we're completely wrong, and Cannon can come out here and completely fall flat in the control. Who knows? Honestly, we're about to see, though, off the start of this one, Offutt starting to get the kills in their favor already. They were keeping an eagle eye on the jump up from down low. The one player that was down there, though, has now tried to reposition for a flank through lights. Nobody is looking in that direction. Artie able to find one. It is a triple stack through, though, so you got to do this quickly, and that's the good jump down from Artie. Hate finds 2 as well, and there is 2 ticks through, but they finally stop the bleeding.
Yeah, 3 go down. Waz, he's going to punch a hole through that immediate spawn trap that was looking to be set, but when one topples, Argo's there to stunt this push over towards that B zone. Second segment's going to be captured, so you'd think that this team would make the wrap back over towards A, but Height's going to be back on the flank. That's going to draw some eyes to the flank.
Yeah, they can't jump on the point because of the fact that Hate is behind enemy lines, so you need to deal with him before you move forward. You don't know where Hate has gone now as well, and now you're starting to deal with more players pushed up. But one of those players was Yodak. He's been taken out of the play, as has Artie. So now Offutt can start to move towards the point. Hate needs to get involved here. Good for the first. Spots a second up top, sliding out. Going to play their life, because you know you're good. There's another player on the flank from your team. It's Argo this time. Good for the first. Slide out almost takes Appa out of the play. And now Offutt looking to try and get the zone through. Kate next up to bat to try and stop this one. He's not able to. Artie on the jump bits, just traded out. Nicely done from Splurging. Yodak's not going to stop that, and that's the point.
This is something we saw back in that red card. In our matchup versus Eglin Offutt, they just hit a different level sometimes. It was Flux who was snapping with that sub, but Splurging can do it too, as we see. Appa, he's going to hop over towards B, see how much damage can be done, and a couple of kills, definitely going to shake things up, but there's still a lot more to worry about, i.e. Yodak on the flank. He goes down. It's all eyes forward now for Offutt.
You've got the players. You've got Cannon pushed all the way back here.
Oh my goodness.
Cautious. Oh, gets beamed by Wazd. And that could be the death knell here in this one. I talked about Cannon being phenomenal at control. Offutt are showcasing how good they are right now. Second tick through. The stack is in. 2 kills now. Slide out on the side from Artie, and they barely survive. But that's the second time that Offutt have done that. They just get a burst of energy. They stack the point, and it's 2 ticks through.
But now is not the time to get ahead of yourself. 8 lives playing 8 lives. Still 53 seconds. This is very losable if you're Offutt. So you have to pump the brakes, see how you can unravel this, and look to dissect these kills one by one.
Starting strong. Trying to hold the line right now. You lose one player by Cat. And you got to remember that every single player that you lose here, Cannon will need to send a new player coming off spawn to try and pick up that lane towards the point. 1 versus 1 going down. Hate has to survive because now you've lost your teammates through the middle of the map, and he's been peppered up from a multitude of angles. Hate, can he find any value here? No. Shut down. It's tentative. Argo sliding out to try and hold this one. It's players towards the point. Argo doubles up. Flux will survive though. Got to get the point, and it's a flanking play from Artie that holds it. 2 versus 2.
2v2. Like I said, this is losable. Even though you're having those chances, it's scrappy. 11 seconds. Last chance.
Artie pushed forward. It's a position that they were at least temporarily looking at. He's good for the first. And nice teamwork as well for the second to come through. It's that little change of positioning from Artie that throws Offutt off enough. They will not win that round, but by gosh, did they really work their butts off to do so. It was phenomenal offensive play from them.
Yeah, that really was the best that we could see out of Cannon to really clutch that one up. I thought for a second you're thinking if you're Cannon, all right, let's just run to the zone, use these 3 lives to at least stop that last segment from getting captured, but it's Argo for the double kill that stops all the pressure, takes them away, and brings it into a 2v2 chance. And like you said, Artie's reposition, 200 IQ coming out from one of the vets on the side of Cannon. Offutt, I pushed them to the edge. That is very exciting in terms of what to expect for the remainder of this control, but you have to be thinking if this map goes away, that chance that you just gave up.
It's a brilliant start from Offutt, I will say that much, right? I mean, you fairly clean every single player. Yeah, you totally clean everybody. Not a single kill going the way Cannon at the start of this round, so it is a perfect start for Offutt. Only one player is going to slip the net. That's RT. His attempt here is going to be trying to draw all of these players back while Cannon move forward out of their spawn. Argo's also found the perfect route to help out his teammate here. Are you going to check RT close up? No, you don't. Catch is splurging off guard, and RT follows up with another one. The nade flies past for the car bomb. That's a problem Cannon no longer have to worry about, but there is a nade over the top that will take RT out of the play. Argo trying to play his knife. Coverage is good. Argo slowly getting that capture through.
It's double progress on both sides. It's slow, but it's progress nonetheless. That's going to cause a lot of panic on the side of Offutt. How do they deal with it? Flux finds a double kill. That's going to stunt the progress over towards A. Still have to deal with Argo at this B zone. The second player gets there. It's captured. It's a little taste of your own medicine from what we saw Offutt do to Cannon, or Offutt do to Eglin in the series prior. Now a double stack to A. Somebody's got to get here.
2 stack on. Wastrom up top, put some shots in towards Yodak, shots in towards Hate as well. The pistol not good enough to close on out. You got to get on towards the point, and he gets the kill from behind. Yodak's going to be, but the trophy system takes him out of the play. Fortunately enough, Splurgeon and Arper are there, so they will stop the capture, but Cannon haven't been cleared. RT now looking to clear some more space. I'm kind of surprised he didn't jump onto the point, but little flanking play from Hate. That should do it. That's all 4 players down. And again, Cannon are no team to mess around. They jump on the point and they win it. I mean, you have to give so much love to Argo for that round because he was solo capping B for 90% of the progress made on that point. He had help, but you still got to give him his flowers. That might well have been player of the game.
Yeah, Argo for sure. Artie as well. He's the first one to make it out of that spawn trap, get over towards that B zone, draws some of the attention. It's the exact same that Offutt did to Eglin earlier on. When Eglin have you in the spawn trap, you make the overextension over towards B. You get that chance to at least cause a little bit of panic on the side of the defenders. And as soon as you do, the players off spawn, shooting the players, trying to rotate back inside of that middle portion. And that is just creating such distress from Offutt in that round cannon. It is methodical madness in this map mode combo. And for Offutt, like I said, you look back to that round 1 and you think that is the round that might define this map.
Yep, Argo. We'll move forward. Cannon, I don't think, are having such a slow start to this round comparatively to what happened before. One player around lights wants to make sure no players get behind enemy lines, and he's right to do so. We'll clear Yodak before now starting to make some move forwards. The problem is that Cannon are very good at being annoying. If Hate goes down, RT should be there for the trade. Little reposition out of him. Should be good to catch Upper off guard. Upper actually somehow wins that fight. And oh, okay. RT going to channel his inner James Bond there for the play. Bit of a Max Payne, I think, if anything, actually. But still, Cannon, they get the kills. They are good for the moment. Offutt haven't even had a look at any of these points just yet.
30 seconds left. 25 lives still for Cannon. Feeling good to put this one away. Somebody is going to have to make a play towards the objective. But even when you do, Hate's going to rip you off those headies. And this one, it just looks like it's cooked. Thrown out the bin, out the window. Doesn't matter. Cannon are just all over it.
That's 3 down. 1 last chance. And Arpa has to waste some time to hit the regen. He's not going to be even afforded that. As Cannon look like they might have done this. Players pushed forward. Offutt, they will regret nothing more than that first round play where they looked absolutely phenomenal. Their best chance in that control, and it was taken right out from under their noses. Cannon, you have to give them props though. Their offense was beautiful. That clutch in round number 1 was beautiful. And well, round number 3, that was a pretty much perfect defense from them.
It's rounds like what we just saw for why we regard Cannon in the light that we do. Hero plays from Artie, hero plays from Argo, Yodak on the flank constantly, and Hate trying to do his best to keep that flank up as well, but not always paying off to the same value. You look across the board. So you go into the Tatsia and a hardpoint. Can Offutt force a map 5? And if they do they have a chance to take both S&Ds away from this Cannon team? It just comes down to that one respawn. Watt is going to kick things off with a kill. That gets Fluxing towards this hard point. A little bit of time to open up for Offutt, but Cannon starting to slay out, starting to flip the map.
All right. Starting to push up already is going to be Offutt. Looking to try and get the spawns in their control for P2. Unfortunately, they do lose a couple of the gunfights over by P2 spawns, but it doesn't really matter. You could see the players spawning in by Garage through the X-ray. So Offutt have done that they wanted. They've got control of P2. But they're giving away some time right now on P1. Flux starts to realize it, so sends himself towards bottom lobby to pick up the kill against Hate. Elsewhere, Splurging will pick 2 up. And again, it's worth saying, that wasn't the one player that was soaking up at that time. That was Artie. They finally remove him. And now we can start to see Cannon move forward. They want to try and break the spawns. This is so difficult to do that.
This is where you recognize the ability to lock down these P2 rotations. Appa already here just has to deal with the oncoming onslaught of players that is in front of him. 3 players in the challenge on the flank. Flux, he's going to deal with at least 1 more, so 2 remaining in the back line to worry about. Arco trying his best to stay alive, but so much to do to force these spawns away, and you just haven't fully been able to do it, but you do force the split spawn, so it's a little bit all over the place. Unfortunately for you, Cannon, it's all for naught. Wasp goes big, and they hold on.
Yeah, that 2 piece from Waz does everything. Alleviates enough pressure that Arpa can find the last kill. Still, though, back spawns are still locked in for Cannon, so you've got to question whether or not Arpa is long for this world, and he is not. In towards the hard point, Yodak still work to do. Back spawns here, splits, as is always the case for P2. Means that Offutt will garner control, and things looking pretty good early on in this hard point for Offutt. They've had the good rotation over towards P2. They hold it for the majority of time. And I look towards that rotation. You can already see blue players through the X-ray on the next hard point. Surely Cannon don't lose this roto.
You can see the brain really showing for this Offutt team. It's a lot less complex than a rewind. So you get those rotations, you get those setups at P2, and you see a 50-point lead because of it. Going to P3. Good slang from Cannon. This is the breakable hill that we were talking about, and Cannon do just that off the starting time for the initial 3. Go down yet again. You're going to flip those spawns towards arches. You're going to have the setup, and this is where you can fight back and retaliate.
Cannon needs to hold. Contest through the other side of the fences. Yodak will come off the spawn and remove that player from the hill, so Cannon can start accumulating time once more. Flanking play, though, I believe, coming through Office before long. We want to be cautious about that, yet you can see Splurgeon starts to make the move forward. Argo almost immediately picks it up, but you got to be careful. Another player still hitting that kill is going to be Arpa. And, well, you really don't want to lose this time if possible, because it's going to put you within touching distance of the next hard point. Still, in focusing so much on that old hard point, you have left the rotation once again to Offutt. The only player closer to anything was Artie, and he is removed. So Offutt, once again, first unit to touch. Let's see what time they can get.
And Yodak's going to be able to play. He's in flanking 7 in a row. How close to the Hellstorm are we going to see him? As it is going to be a break immediately for Cannon. They're in 73 playing 58. Only a moment of time before Cannon can see this lead change, and you're just moments away from getting this Hellstorm for Yodak.
All right, Yodak, 7 in a row. Would be big for Cannon to get, if he can get it. He gets shut down before he does, I believe. So no Hellstorm missile for you. He got it? All right, cool. We're all good then. Hate now moving forward to get another streak of his own. If there could be a Hellstorm missile and then another one for Hate as well, that is absolutely everything. Cannon really starting to heat up here, and this has been the first real solid look we've seen from them all game long. I think they've been kind of streaky so far in this game. They did manage to get the back 30 to 40 control of fences, but outside of that, we hadn't really seen anything from them. So for them to get the majority of time off that kill, that's real important.
Waz is so good. 3 down again. Looking for a little bit of time in this P1. Down by 6. Still in the runnings is Offutt. You don't want to panic just yet. Do the same thing that you did in the first set of rotations. Focus on making sure you're not letting anybody from Cannon slip through these outer lanes. Lock down these back spawns for P2. And that's where you can see this lead grow yet again. While you're doing that, Cannon, they are going to force some fights towards the back. And you can see some players already behind them. It's Hate.
They can do anything. Argo still over by ult. 20 seconds worth fighting for. Offutt no, though. There might be people hanging around. Hate will reveal his position. You know they need to focus on it. Hate, keep your head down. Wasp puts a lot of shots into him. He should hit the regen here, especially as his teammates have done their job. Hate has played his life perfectly. And now you've got those back spawns on lock. This is something Offutt really benefited from last time around. They got a full 60 more or less on this hard point. Cannon look like they want to flip the script as we get towards this hill. Every single point of entry is being watched. And I really thought for a second there that we've DC'd.
I think we have.
I think we have.
I think
we have.
I think the server is
broken.
Broken.
Boy. Oh, come on.
You look at the other side for Cannon. They slowed down in that game. I'm not sure if it has to do with the reset. You know, it's definitely a mental thing that you have to deal with. The fact that you get in, you're locked into a game, you're ripped right out of that tension. You have to wait for those updates, then you go back in. A little bit disjointed, but for Cannon, they go in, they come in flat to that game number 4. Argo goes 10-27, Hate 19-27.
Yeah.
So score lines that you don't really expect from two players from Cannon Air Force Base. And I asked you at the start, do you think any upsets are going to happen today? We said no. No upsets should happen. Cannon should have this in the bag. And we thought wrong. And one thing to talk about from that map number 4 is that Offutt, they had a share from all 4 players of being in an objective. So kills did matter behind them. But for the search and destroy, we go into map 5, see who is going to move on to winners round 3, and Hate's going to draw first blood.
Good follow-up from RT as well. So Cannon now fighting for control. Bomb going down, all just down to Wazd in this play, and Wazd, well, he, at the very least, they don't know where he is in this situation. Gets the first kill against Argo, good enough. No immediate trade, but good wraparound through the middle of the map, and that's going to be Cannon with the first victory in this Game 5.
Yeah, Cannon could open things up with first blood on this search and destroy, a bounce back off that Game 4, and I had Hate in my DMs. He said, man, sometimes you're just not ready to be pulled out of a game like that. He was saying that he couldn't believe that they didn't get to play through that map for the first time. So could be a little bit frustrated off of what happened before, but Cannon, they have wiped those frustrations away. And this is going to be the start of something new to experience in this rewind. So it's Offutt's turn to see what they can offer on this attacking side. And one player's going to watch the Boulevard. Everybody else is going to push through P5.
Looks like it's still going to be an A hit here. Trying to push through the middle of the cart. That nade over the top from Waz will make this a plausible push. Oh, good shots from Yodak, though. Turns and burns on towards Waz. They're still in favor of Offutt, though. 3 versus 2. That bomb looking to go down on A. But RT might have just spotted some prey, and he will get that kill. Is he going to get a second, though? Or crucially, can he get away? I think the answer is yes, he can.
2 versus 2. Bomb not getting planted. Both players have flipped towards Elephant. Flux has to get away, but 2 HP is going to be caught. Splurging for 360.
What?
What?
Brother, Mom, get the camera. What on earth was that? What? Why?
Why not?
Because it loses you to the round. What is that? I am so confused,
sorry,
brother.
I'm dying right now.
Why are we stunting on him in the most important map of Call of Duty you played all week?
Hold on, guys. Watch this. It's like, Mom, get the camera. Mom, get the camera.
Oh, God. Okay, all right. RT's on 5 in a row off the start of this search and destroy. That was a 2 versus 3 from Cannon, by the way, so that's a round that Offutt will be kicking themselves that they lost. And Offutt now on the defense here. Or, yeah, excuse me, on the defense, looking for the first kill. Good kill on towards Yodak. RT with the trade, though, and you take those trades as long as you can get mid-map presence, which, I'll be perfectly honest, like, Offutt don't really have right now.
They have to stop this tree from Artie. He's 1 kill away from getting that Hellstorm. So close in, the shoulder peek, and there it is. That is such a big shutdown, but can you get the round from it? 1 versus 3 for Argo. First shots in, he gives himself away, and he's going to back up, and nobody's on defuse just yet. Goes back around for shots. Stays alive. And the defuse is going through. They're just going to stick on it. Argo has to get back in time, but he doesn't. Offutt's going to win that round. A couple of kills for Argo for sure, but a shutdown from Offutt to deny 3 in a row, and a shutdown to what could have been an Hellstorm for Artie. Such a big round for the team.
Yeah, I mean, I know that they didn't win that round, but I'm still going to give Argo a lot of love for what was otherwise a phenomenal play. Like, the slamming of the doors open to be like, hey guys, I've wrapped around, you guys can jump on bomb, and they did. He just got that first goal. I don't think he expected an immediate chow through Elephant. It was still a good play call, but nonetheless, that immediate chow kind of threw him off slightly and allowed that defuse to go through. Nade over the top makes the first player weak. Yodak goes to follow up on it, but Flux has hit the regen. So, Offutt, numbers early on. The positive here, I guess, you have for Cannon is that you have players on both sides. So, they're still sitting pretty here early on in this round. Wait. Oh.
Okay, okay. Nice shots from Argo. So at least it's going to be back into an advantage or at least a 1 difference for Cannon to try to get this retake underway, but he's going to have to make a play. He's not going to check to his left. Offutt brings it into another 1 versus 3. This time it's Hate.
Flying across. Gonna have to expend some of this time for the reposition. And he's also clearing a lot of space here. So he's garnering information at the same time as making this wrap behind enemy lines. The problem is that time is not your ally in this situation. Hate has checked every single corner and crevice, except for the one where Offutt actually are. Finally, find somebody. Problem is, you might find that kill. You are not winning this round, regardless of the follow-up of Splurging actually goes through. Splurging just like, yeah, I might as well preserve my life. There's no way you're getting the defuse at this point. Solid play. And that is just unfortunate for Hate, right? You check every single corner, but basically the ones where they're at.
2-2. Tied up. Brody, after the first 2 rounds, I was kind of worried. I won't lie. I thought that Cannon were going to maybe come into this with a little bit of the hand of justice and rain that justice down upon Offutt going into this map, but it's kind of the same thing that we got back in that Hacienda. A fantastic start from Cannon, but as soon as they let off of that gas, this Offutt team, they're more than capable of bringing it back. Tied up. Big round. First blood from Yodak, and that's going to be a paved road to be.
Alright, well, you've drawn first blood in this round. You've got a freebie plant. There might be a bit of a post-plant situation, though, and not a good one here for a Cannon. Doesn't get the good shots off, though, so now you need help from behind. That help is coming in the way of Flux, and he cannot deliver on the second. Though, able to pick up 1. Expect an immediate reach out. It doesn't happen. Through the middle of the map, though, Yodak might overheat, and it's a good read from but you just don't get away with the kill cleanly.
For Offutt on the back line. Ross brings it into a 1 versus 1. Lots of time, but are you going to read the re-wrap from Hate? This is the difficult part. How would you know that he's behind you right now? As Hate's going to put those shots in. Was a chance to back up, but 3 HP. As soon as he lifts his head, it is ripped off his body. And Cannon are going to bounce back, not allowing Offutt to get 3 in a row.
Really smart from Hate. Again, you know, you have an angle on the bomb in that situation. I will say, the shots were a teensy bit premature, although I think that's nitpicking or anything. Hate did get the kill in the end, but still, solid play from Hate on the positioning of where the bomb was planted for. You're never going to know with where that bomb actually is on the site, where to look in that situation, but fair play from Waz to almost pull off that 1 versus 3. We're shushing? We're shushing after that? Okay, Waz, he's starting to feel himself, and I don't blame him the way he was ripping heads off a couple of players in that last round. Still, big bounce back for Cannon. Off the start of this one, Offutt barreling towards a B.
It's a major bounce back, and they want to go towards B, but they haven't really found any form to allow them in. Artie's going to post up and wait. That's a good nade. Door opened up the slightest bit. Yodak going to open it now with some shots, but Offutt really haven't shown themselves, and it seems like they're going to back up off this, and fortunately enough to their doing, nobody has really taken space except Argo.
Oh, that was the perfect time for Argo to go off, and he just gets caught. Fortunately, Yodak does find value elsewhere. Flux trying to get some kills through glass, and again, none of this is really clean enough. You're also going to get wrapped around through electrical as well, so I don't know if Flux is long for this well. The RT actually goes straight through and picks up Splurging, so Flux goes unfound, and in the end, he does get shut down. Methodical play from Cannon on the retake. Not post-plant, just really wanted to get control of mid again.
Yeah, just want to make sure that you can deny any routes into either the A site or the B site. So what do? You just nip it through the middle, and you deny any chances to transition from site to site. And for Cannon, you recognize that off of Argo's first contact, off at their trap, they get collapsed on. And not to mention 8 and 4 from Yodak, 7 and 3 from Artie. These two really stepping up for back-to-back good maps for Cannon. Just somebody from Offutt now. It's your turn to show what you're worth, and 2 and 4 from Splurging, 2 and 6 from Flux. Those are score lines that you'd like to see change.
Cannon, at the start of this round, heating up, trying to get their way towards B. They're going to get shut out almost immediately here, and I love this cool play call from Cannon, right? They recognize, hey, we've just hit a brick wall over by B. Let's just reposition. Generally speaking, the presence inside the A site has been relatively weak for Offutt so far, but they're not going to expect this whilst in a total off angle, and it's time for him to pound. No trigger discipline, but good for the first, and again, it's turning all the heads of these players. Even if you don't get that second kill, it would have been nice. Again, you're wasting time on the clock.
That time is something that you really need to hold close to the chest. It's the full rotation. They're going to flip this one out. It has to be B. And as the time dwindles down, you're going to recognize this. And now you can see Flux start to work his way.
Flux gets step it up. He could stop this. He could stop this. Oh, I was going to stop it instead. Time now really issue here for Cannon. You've done so well in the 2 versus 3. The stun connects at the right time as well. And that is the MVP stun to end all MVP stuns. It lands at the exact right time. Prevents any movement whatsoever. And if I'm perfectly honest, I think Cannon just take a little bit too long to get that going.
I agree. I think that you had everything you needed to acknowledge that that was a site plant that you needed to make. And do it as quick as possible. Now, you wait your turn, you give Offutt that chance to readjust. Flux gets into a perfect position, and he's not even needed to stop that bomb carrier. So as soon as that bomb planter goes down, it forces the hand of the secondary to follow up, and he gets that kill. The stun comes at just the right time. That's a Tom Brady throw when you needed it most.
Okay. Well, Offutt. Now I'm going to have to deal with the bomb down. What did that post plant look like? Yodak already starting to push through alongside RT here. It's a retake situation. Big Killer towards electrical. That's information though. Flux will have known there's 2 players coming through, so the comm should be made to the players from behind. Appa will respond for it, but the trades are looking pretty good. Splurgeon has to keep his head on a swivel for those players behind. You know where both are. The reposition is on, and Argo is just going to hop this bomb. Splurgeon going from the one place that isn't being watched right now. He goes for the wraparound, and I think that's so unfortunate because Argo has full control over the site. Cannon get that bomb defuse. They find themselves on series point.
Brody, what did I say? What did I say back in that map number 2 is that Offutt had all of the ice, so this time Cannon, they're feeling cold inside of Rewind. As the temperature drops off it, they are shaking in their boots on what to expect going into these last couple rounds. You got to go back to back just to bring it to a round 11. And Flux, that's a good place to start.
All right, Offutt. Drawn blood in this round. Do not give one away for free. Unfortunately, Flux gets traded out through the middle of the map. And for that, Cannon have obtained mid-map control. They've got one sneaky, peeky, flanking player. It's time to go big splurge, and he can't do it. The TK goes through, though. Leaves RT in a 1v2.
Yeah, already to put this one away for the clutch. 9-5 would be 11-5 to close out this map. He's got the bomb. He's got the route. He's got the timing. And it looks like Cannon are going to have a chance for this bomb plant unless Offutt back up. And they do just that. They hold their ground. They keep it alive.
Man, big round for Offutt to come back. Good read as well from Alpa to pick up that final kill. That TK. I think it was maybe RT that picked up the TK in the middle of the round. I don't know, but either way, that is frustrating for Cannon. You know what, Seymour? We're in round 10. All right, we've gone the distance to a game 5. You might as well get another round off it. You might as well send us to a round 11. We'll see whether or not that can happen here. Off the rip, immediately different look here. Wast going long. He has gone through towards Burger before, but this time it's also Cannon getting aggressive, and they are rewarded for it.
There's no time to back down now. Splurging looking for some timing. He's gonna get fast. Has to get away the early tags, and look at this from Yodak. He's in a place where he can spoil everything.
Just be quiet. Don't make a move. There it is. That's the bomb planter. 55 seconds. Time has started to run out in this round already. Big kill for Splurging, though. Catches Yodak on the redirect. And now no one is near that bomb. Of course, it's worth saying Yodak didn't know that the bomb was down. He didn't know he killed the bomb carrier. So things are relatively even here for Offutt. They still have full control over the A site.
They don't know that, though. It seems they're trying to cut some noise and then make this dash over towards B, but no, they're going to rewrap this, and Offutt are going to be here.
I'll go down. Hate pushed out. 21 HP. He can survive this. No, he actually can't. He is not allowed to get away. And I'm so happy. It's time for a Game 5, Round 11.
You kind of said it right. Why not? We've come this far. What's one more round between these two teams? Offutt going into this Game 5. We talked about it. The chance to be the first team to upset one of the higher seeds here in the World Championships. And it's not just one of the higher seeds. This is, I'd say, the highest seed that we can look towards. Cannon, we had so much hope for this team to walk through this bracket. And Offutt are trying to make their journey a little bit longer.
Util over the top. Beautiful first nade from Upper. I'll go down. Cannon. They do not have an advantage anymore. Their control over the middle map is tentative at best. You only have Yodak there. And you really do have to split the difference. And I love the play call from Offutt, right? They're waiting for Cannon to overheat. They know they've done it in the past. They know they can get aggressive. They're playing for that.
This is a good call from Offutt, though. You're going to cause so much panic on the side and the communication for Cannon. It is going to be a hit over here, and he needs something from Artie. Yodak's going to get caught. Artie a double kill, 2 versus 2.
They don't know where Hate is. Hates the wild card. Hates the wild card! He picks up both! And that's it, folks. Cannon, you got to go to Game 5, Round 11 to get it done. And they do get it done indeed. A 2-piece from Artie in the final round, and then Hate with a positioning that Offutt are never going to expect. He's the one to close the door on any upset here. It is not happening with Cannon.
That was a scary one. You have to think that if you lose that for Cannon, that is some pride gone out the window. You lose the first blood on the nade. Argo gets caught.
But let's bring Hate in for an interview. I want to talk to him about what the hell happened there. Round 11, buddy. First and foremost, congratulations on the dub. You guys just gave us one hell of a series to cast over, even if it did take like 2.5 hours or something to that effect to get through. I want to talk to you a little bit about the Control, right? Because Control, every single time that we've seen you guys on Control, you guys have been destroying teams. You just 3-0'd them in probably the most dominant map out of anybody in that series. What was the play call like for you guys? I want to talk about that round number 2 specifically, where you guys sent Argo all the way towards B while the rest of you guys were over towards A. Was that like an intentional thing? You're like, Argo, just go, give us some space, get ourselves over towards B. I will say, it was a long time ago, so I'll forgive you if you don't remember it.
Yeah, the main, it wasn't even really a play call. It just happened to happen in the moment. When we sent him over to B, and he was capturing himself, so we hope to God that he can kill the people front. So we had people like watching like the vault area, so he wouldn't have to watch about his back or his side. So all he had to do is look his front. And at the same time, we were just capturing A, so it was like a double-edged sword right there. And Offutt couldn't kill us off for the life of them, and that's how we ended up even getting B in the first place. I think they just folded, in my opinion.
Bro, that's so funny. It just happened. That's like, you know what? That is like the most canon thing to hear happen as well. Buddy, map 4, we didn't see it. What happened? What went wrong there for you guys?
Before like the game crashed, obviously it was like we were coming back a little bit after a slow start, so it wasn't really too bad. But after the reset, I think they just kind of got a gist of like what we were trying to do, and they ended up countering it really well. Arrow Appa, I think he had another legacy map. No one play him on Hasi, or else he's useless. Other than that, yeah, no, they just handled business. They were just going crazy, and we couldn't do anything about it. It just happens. Happens to the best teams.
Yeah, look, you guys bounced back, right? You had to put that hard point to the back of your mind. You got to a Game 5. Now, obviously, this is very fresh in your mind because it literally just happened. I want to know what the play call for you and RT was in that 2 versus 4 at the end. Now, we were kind of discussing it. The 2 versus 4 basically wasn't a 2 versus 4 because of how quickly all those kills happened. But you're in that 2 versus 4. You've lost your teammates. You are 2 kills away going against you from going down to the loser's bracket. I mean, what were the comms like in that moment in that 2v4?
Argo, as soon as Argo got naded, he like right before that he told me not to go near the truck because they'll get naded. He ended up getting naded. I thought that was kind of funny. But yeah, no, I saw him get naded, and I'm like, oh No. I thought they were going to blitz B after that, but they, for some reason, didn't hit B at all because I don't know what their play call was. They just didn't hit B. And, yeah, they went to go hit A where I had my teammates at. Already got an insane two-piece after Yodak died. I'm not going to lie, Yodak throwing his headset also kind of like threw me off a little bit. But as soon as I saw Artie get 2 down, I'm like, dude, I got to come that there B. I flanked. They had 2 people there looking the same spot. Not a single person decided to even look our own spawn. And I just went right behind him and got a 2-piece. And I'm not going to lie, I caught him buns. They were faded for not looking my way.
Oh man, it was awesome. Honestly, thank you so much. It was an epic series again. I know it was a long one, no, not just for us, but also for you guys as well. So really awesome to see, and also great to see you move on to the next round of play. Again, congratulations on the dub. Before we let you go, any shout outs you want to make?
I'll make shout out to my leadership and my first year in the leadership over at Osan, because after this event, I'll be going over to Osan. Had a lot of trouble. I almost wasn't able to even go to this event for certain stuff with like my PCSing and all that stuff to the next base. They worked their rears off to get me here, and I'm not gonna let them down. I'm gonna try to win this entire thing. Shout out my parents. They're really chill. I haven't seen them in a minute. Might as well just throw that out there. Throw my sister. Shout out to Offutt for throwing, and that's all I got.
Oh, shout out to Offutt for throwing, brother. Oh god, I hope for my life of me that Offutt make a lower bracket run and play you guys again, because that would be a generational matchup. Go enjoy the win, Matt. Congratulations again.
Appreciate it. Have a good one. See you later.